welcome back to the LADo channel. And guys, today I have a very special video because it is the first of its kind here on the channel, and it is from a new company that I have never reviewed before. That being the LADo Toys Liya Alopex action figure. So yeah, recently my brother went ahead and did a order on Big Bad Toy Store, so I've added it to my beautiful backdrop right here, and alongside it, I decided to pick this figure up. This was back a few months ago, and it barely came out this month. It got delivered, so I'm very excited to finally review it. As you can see, there's still the plastic wrap all around. So yeah, this is also from a brand new toy company that I've never reviewed here on the channel. This is LADo Toys, and this is Liya Alopex from the Mystic Land collection. I did a little bit of research about this figure and the collection, and it's pretty interesting. They are, of course, like these humanoid, sort of like furry type of characters. They do have a wide collection of different animals and things like that, different characters in the collection, but it's pretty cool. I like the style, and looking at the front of the box, it is a really interesting sort of like setup. So you have this massive window featuring the figure and a few of the accessories. Of course, you get this shot of the action figure right here, the LADo Toys logo, and the Mystic Land logo. You also get her name right here, and when I did a little bit of research, sort of like on the figure and things like that, supposedly there's the construction version, and then there's a cotton candy version where she's like a bright pink, more vibrant colors. So pretty interesting. This is the more standard issue one, I'm guessing. On this side of the box, you do get her doing this like snarling expression, and her name as well. And then on this side, it's pretty interesting. You get her doing like this sort of like shy expression, her name, and then you get like this little pixel art on the side. On the bottom, there's just some warnings, and then this really nice sort of like seal of authenticity or whatever from LADo Toys. And then I didn't even notice this sticker till right now, but this is the top of the box. You get her name, but the sticker is very interesting. It's on the outside, and it says, "Please take photos or record video of the unboxing from multiple angles for after sales use." So yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know if that's just something the company forgot to take off, but that's kind of funny. So I guess I am reviewing this for the company of LADo Toys. And then back here you get this really clean sort of like layout of pretty much everything that this figure has to offer. So we have this beautiful shot right here of the figure posing. It has some text saying, "I'm Liya. First time I've met you. Do you need anything fixed?" And then you do get some other glam shots of the different faceplates, or the facial recognition, it says. And then the package contents. So of course you get the figure, 2 faceplates. I'm guessing there's some sort of tool for the eyes. We get a sword, a bunch of tools, an axe, multiple hands, the pouch, and the stand. And then there's a couple of QR codes down here and a website link, so you guys can scan that. I'm not sure where that'll take you. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox her finally. But yeah, really excited to finally get into this. I've been wanting to record this sort of like review for some time now, and now we'll finally have the opportunity to unbox this character. Alright, so there we are. Alright, let's go ahead and remove this. Oh, dang, you get a bunch of stuff. Wow, and look at that. I'm not sure if it's part of a video game or something because of the whole pixel art, but look at that. You get a really nice background right there. But yeah, if you guys have any sort of like, answers for me as far as like what this brand consists of, please let me know down in the comments below. This is my first time reviewing it, so I do apologize if I do get some information wrong or things like that, but I just like the character, and I'm not sure if it's part of a video game series or something. I'll definitely do some more research in the, you know, in my time editing this video. But yeah, so let's see what we got here. We got a whole bunch of paper and things like that. So, ooh, see, look at this. Is it like for a video game? Occupation. So here's a look at this sort of like character card, character log sort of like thing. And look at that. It's in this pixel art style. And it reminds me a lot of like, Pokemon, sort of like JRPG sort of like style. Because it shows like everything pretty much. So it shows different skills, like this little skill tree thing right here. Her strength is like a B tier. Her magic and intelligence is D, and her health and agility is C. Um, Her skills are sword training is level 1, so she's not very good at fighting, I'm guessing. But even though her strength is pretty good, she's a level 20 in mechanical appraisal and level 20 in mechanical repair. So yeah, she's like a blacksmith. Here's some information. She's a female. She's 16 years old. She is 186 centimeters, which I'll try and like round it up into like feet. She is an Arctic fox, and her birthday is March 23rd. That's really cool. And then behind it is the Japanese version of it, but it pretty much translates everything right here, which is really convenient. The next piece of like paperwork that is included is this. This is very interesting. Again, this is my first time reviewing something from this company, so I'm not sure this is a regular thing, but this is a LADo Toys after sales service card, and it has like some more pixel art down here. But when you open it up, it reveals like this pamphlet, and it has like this really nice sort of like watercolor type of paper that they used, but it's for like the product warranty. And so I'm guessing, in a nutshell, if the product has any defects or if there's like certain accessories that are missing, or it's basically a lemon, that you have to like follow up and like send this to the company, and they'll like basically send you a brand new figurine. So that's really nice of them. I wish we had something like this in America. And then real nice, they put this message: thank you for choosing LADo Toys. But that is really sweet. I mean, to have like a product warranty like that is really convenient. And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna come across anything bad for it being a newer figure. I hope not. But yeah, this was included. And I'm guessing the last piece of paperwork that is included is the instruction manual, which basically runs down how to use the accessories and things like that. So let's go ahead and open that. Yeah, here's the little instruction manual. That is so cool. Shows you how to install the face plates, the tail, how to move legs, install the platform, the tool belt. That is so neat. I'm definitely, like, after this review, I'm definitely gonna look into this whole company. I have no idea what else they sell other than the Mystic Land collection, but yeah, they're making an impression on me for sure. And here's the figure out of the tray. So here's the plastic sort of like, tray that she comes with. And you can see all of the different accessories shown right here. So what I'll do is I'll get everything out and ready to be shown for the review finally. And then real quick, I just noticed this when taking out all the accessories, things like that. There is this small little package that is behind the tray, and it features the tool to move the eyes on the faceplate, and then 2 individual joints, or I guess additional ones in this case. And here she is out of the packaging, and looking at Liya, it is a really cool looking figure right out of the packaging, and yeah, it has a ton of detail, and I'm already liking the sort of like look of the figure. But before we, get too much into it, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. Checking out the head sculpt, it looks fantastic. And I gotta say that they did a really good job with the overall amount of detail and just the attention to, like, things like this, the hair. You can see that there's some really nice sort of like glossy texture going around the eyes right here. They have this beautiful like orange yellow tone, and yeah, looks really cool. And on top of that, this is by far one of the coolest features already. The ears move up and down right here. So they do have like these ball joints, and that is so neat. You can, put them up, down, different directions. But overall, that is really cool. She also has like this braid that runs in the back, and it does move. It has like a ball joint of its own. You can remove it, I believe, or fix it up in different ways, but I kind of like it already right here. Here's a close up of the face sculpt right here. Really, really cool. And she does have articulation right here in the top of the head. So there's side to side, back, and forward. Checking out the torso, she does have this sort of like brown crop top right here. Looks really nice, and overall, I'm liking the detail. Looks very realistic, things like that. And she does have like this brown choker around the neck, but she does have a ball joint right here that is separate as far as like the top of the sort of like torso area. So they're side to side, back, and forward. But yeah, I definitely like that. Having, multiple sort of like joints right here, one below the waist and above it. So you can get some pretty decent movement. Everything seems to be pretty smooth right there. And now taking a look at the arms. Arm goes out right there. And surprisingly, it does go all the way around, as you just saw. The elbow goes up right there. There is a swivel right here on the shoulder area, and then she does have movement at the wrist and at the hand. Checking out the other arm, it does stick out right there. It does go around. You can move it around pretty smoothly. It does kind of get caught right here with the sort of like braid, but not too bad. Her elbow goes up right there. She's got a swivel at the wrist and at the hand, and overall, it's pretty smooth so far. Checking out the waist, she does have these blue shorts right here, and this brown belt that features some really cool sort of like add-ons. There is a golden belt buckle, these goggles right here, and then there is a peg, well, two pegs, one for her tool belt and the other one for her tail. And now looking at her legs, this is very interesting, which I'll get to in a bit. But starting it off, she does go almost into a full-on split. She is able to sit down right here, and then the legs do go back pretty normal. But this is what I was getting at. She does not have any swivel in the thigh area. Instead, you have to do this sort of like, they call it like a locking sort of like system, where you pull down right here, and then it's gonna show like the bell area where you're able to move around the leg in some sort of like pattern, and you just push up to lock it back in place. But it's kind of interesting. I was surprised to see that there's no movement around the thighs, because that would help out in many, many ways. But overall, it's a small little detail, so nothing too crazy. I also like the fact that the fur, you can see right here that it connects, and you can see it's a lighter tone, so that's really neat. The knee joints go back really far. She has like some of the best knee joints I've ever seen. So yeah, they go back past a kneeling position. And then looking at her boots, this is really cool. So it's just like an SH Figart figure. The toes do move, and you can also get a pretty decent sort of like rotation in that rock wrinkle. But yeah, overall, they look really nice in this sort of like brown leather color. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now, taking a look at the accessories, we have her tail. The tail comes packaged like this, and you can just, remove the plastic to get it out. But it's really cool. I like how they take extreme caution and care to the accessories. So here is her tail piece, and it looks like some pieces might move. There we are. They're a little bit stiff, but yeah, the tip of the tail doesn't move around. It has like a ball joint, and I figured this one would. Has almost like a swivel, but I guess not. And then you of course get the peg. To place the tail, all you're gonna do is just attach it right here with that little like ball joint on the peg. And once it's in there, it attaches pretty well. And here she is with her tail. And as you can see, you can move around in pretty much every sort of like direction thanks to that articulation. But unfortunately, she cannot stand on her own because the tail does add a extremely high amount of like weight to it, and you can definitely feel that when you have the figure in hand. You can try and balance it, but yeah, you're gonna definitely need that stand. Up next, we have our stand. Checking out the stand, again, it comes in its own little plastic, but it looks really cool. It's sort of like this cobblestone sort of like piece, maybe like a road, and you get one single peg to place it on her foot. And here she is with that stand, and it works extremely well. Especially if you're going to use it not just as display, but for holding up that weight of the tail. It is definitely worth, the time to actually place it in there. It's super easy and simple, and yeah, she stands really well on her own. Up next, she has a tool pouch. Looking at the tool belt or tool pouch, it does come in its own little baggie. And yeah, it really looks, amazing. Has two individual pegs to place it around her belt and four individual slots to place the tools in. And here she is with that tool belt accessory. It was pretty simple to put on. I did have to try and like maneuver this piece in, but it finally clicked, and there it is. So yeah, we'll be sure to fill those little empty pockets up in a bit. And up next, we'll be taking a look at the two included faceplates. Both faceplates do come in individual little plastic baggies. This one being the angry expression. Man, look at those teeth. And the other one being this sort of like shy expression. And I really like how you can see like the little blush on the cheeks. That's really neat. And then real quick, before I show you guys how to put on the faceplate, obviously you can see that there is some misalignment with the eyeball right here. So you're going to take this small tool that it comes with, and when you turn the faceplate around, it's going to have these little inserts for the eyeballs. So you're going to stick it in there, and you're able to fix it in any sort of like position that you want. So I finally was able to get it loose, and you can see right here, you move the eye in position that you want it. That seems pretty good. And look at that. It's as easy as that to just get a simple eye movement, but it's still really awesome. And if you want to exchange the faceplates, things like that, it's very similar to a Figma or SH Figart. You take off the hairline, remove the faceplate, then place the face of your choosing. Place the hairline right here inside of the little groove. And there you go. Man, look at that angry expression. Dang, that makes a huge difference. Up next, we'll take a look at this tray, which features the interchangeable hands and tools. Looking at the tray, I am so happy that they included this because there's no way I would have been able to keep count of all these tiny little accessories. So I appreciate the tiny little tray it comes with. But inside, you can see the different interchangeable hands, the pairs of hands, things like that, and the tools that she comes with. Here comes a little hatchet, the little wrench, the screwdriver, and a monkey wrench. And to change out the hands, just like an SH Figure figure or a Figma, you just take off the grip right here at the peg. Then you place back on the hand of your choosing right here. And yeah, it works out really well. Look at that. And then here inside the tool pouch, I went ahead and placed the individual little tools in here, and they fit perfect. So they each have their own little individual spots. Of course, these smaller ones go in the front. Then you have your wrench and the axe right here in the back pockets. And finally, taking a look at the final accessories that this figure comes with, it is a wooden hammer and a sword. Check out the sword. It looks really neat. I'm not sure if it's just a wooden sword or maybe like a copper sword, but yeah, it has a unique build to it, has some nice sort of like grooves, things like that, and it does have like this wooden sort of like texture to it. So I'm guessing it might be a wooden sword, and then you also get this brown leather grip. And last but not least, you do get this tiny little wooden mallet or a hammer. It has some metal accents going throughout it, and it definitely has been used. You can tell by the little sort of like indentures, things like that from the crafting she does. And yeah, you can see right here with the interchangeable hands, the grip on the sword, and you can, move it around, things like that. The grip is pretty good, so you won't see the tools or weapons falling out of her hand. And now, as an overview of the figure, she's pretty good. And for this being my first ever figure here on the channel done by LADo Toys, I'm extremely satisfied. I didn't see any defects or discoloration, nothing of that sort, so don't worry, employees of LADo Toys, you're in good hands. I will say though, the one thing I will point out is the weight of that tail. I have no idea what type of plastic they used, but it weighs down the figure so much. I wish it was a lighter model, just so that way, you can either play with it with or without a stand. But I get it, that's the way that the figure is designed. So it's not too much of a big deal. I am glad that the figure does stand pretty well on her own, but yeah, that tail definitely adds some weight. But nonetheless, I do love the articulation. The accessories are outstanding, and just the overall look of this figure, it is definitely worthwhile for any type of collector. And again, I am curious to see your thoughts on this toy lineup, and also, give me a little bit of insight of what this brand consists of. I will be doing my research pretty thoroughly as much as I can, but I definitely want to look into the lineup of these action figures. They look really cool, and it'd be neat to, start these up on the channel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this very special video. I'm trying out things on the channel, especially with newer sort of like toy lineups. So if you have any recommendations that you would like to see, please, share your thoughts, whether it's here on this video or on the community tab. I'll probably put a post on the community tab so it's a little bit easier to access. But yeah, other than that, thank you all so much for watching this video. And if you liked it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me for more. And with that said, I'll catch you all on the next one.